Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary, entry 82. This entry is going to be a rough one. I don't know how many of you know Jesse Lee Peterson. I've heard of him. I heard of his name. I heard people call him a coon, a sellout, a house Negro. I'm thinking, nobody could be that bad. Wrong. Wrong. I was wronger than two left shoes. Alright. Imagine the Hegelian dialect. You have Clarence Thomas, Herman Cain. They would give birth to Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus gave birth to Jesse Lee Peterson. Because at least Herman Cain and Clarence Thomas, they're bad, but not to the point to where you come up with something, a Coondom, that Jesse Lee Peterson comes up with. He had a shirt called that had White History Month. And I'm thinking, wow. I mean, he just has a disdain towards black people, calls them evil, gets mad saying how, white people don't let black people upset you and make you not say anything to them because of slavery and racism, because it really wasn't. It wasn't at all. It wasn't what we made it out to be. We're making it worse than what it really was. And born in Alabama. And not that he came from slavery, but he came from generations of sharecroppers. Okay, now he just recently debated a young man by the name of David. I can't remember his last name. A young white guy, and Jesse Lee Peterson started jumping on him for not loving white people. And David, I gotta have to give him props because he really peeped them out, saying, Jesse Lee, you were taking individual cases. We're talking about the institution of racism. And when he said that, Jesse Lee jumped all over him and said, look, racism doesn't exist, neither does institutional racism, and you should be ashamed of yourself for letting black people put that on you, because black people are evil. But on the same turn he'll say, let anger go. Love your mama. Forgive your mama. Well, as much anger that you're letting out, that internal rage towards black people, you might want to take a little bit of your own medicine and get that straightened out. Woo, the Coondom. He is the king he's the king in the Coondom. I thought that David Duke, the neo-Nazis, and the KKK could have learned something from Clarence Thomas and Herman Cain and even Uncle Ruckus. No, they could learn a lot from Jesse Lee Peterson. Check out his content. I was taken aback. I couldn't believe it. Even though white people were like, no racism? What? Well, I don't know what to say. On that note. I just had to express my feelings on this. So if you want to see how bad it is, check out Jesse Lee Peterson. Check out his podcast. I couldn't believe it. My internal stuff starts boiling. I'm like, I can't believe this. But however, on that note, please like and subscribe. Don't fall into Coondom. stuff like that. But most of all, thank you for stopping by.